Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 1277, and today's topic is the cause of, or we can say root cause of feeling tired and emotionally drained at workplace by employees. Is a global problem, and this problem is very much common in the young generation in the age group of 25 to 40, and it has become epidemic, so rampant. Is not that only maybe in Africa or Asia, it's all over world, and the latest statistical data shows that this is actually 77 to 80% problem is there, and where the employees, they feel tired, burnout, and with least energy at their workplace, whether they are professional, scientists, engineers, technocrat, or in industries, the workers. So in totality, the multi-billion dollar productivity is affected, and is a serious issue. That's why I call it, it became epidemic, so rampant. And there are some factors responsible for that. Those factors I am going to discuss one by one. What they have identified, first factor, they call it physical factor. But to my understanding, physical factor means sometimes there may be some nutritional deficiency, some disease, poor diet, environment, deficiency of some hormone or vitamin or mineral like magnesium, iron, calcium. All these we can see medicinal or health issues. But it is not like that. In majority of the cases, more than 90%, it has been reported that they are mostly psychological, emotional, and lifestyle problem. And the treatment of this condition of feeling tired, exhausted, burnout at workplace has to be addressed very carefully. So I am showing some of the images first. So these images I am showing one by one. It is all published, and their body language, their face expression, how they are putting the hand on the mouth is showing that she is feeling tired, and she is also feeling emotionally drained or exhausted. Second is also his feeling. He is physically fit, there is no problem. But after some time, he is so much depressed or demoralized. There may be reason. That's why he is just, you can see his body language, he is feeling tired. In this image, he looks like totally collapsed. His feeling, his emotion, everything is collapsed. He is in deep frustration. You can see in his photo, the face expression itself tells that his feeling is not good, he is not satisfied, and definitely there may be some gap of employee and employer, maybe expectation and some other factors. Very sad mood, totally exhausted, and burnout energy like that condition. Her feeling is very, very sad, or she is suffering from that fatigue, and that condition, it can be either psychological or emotional. So you have seen these images. They are all published images of such condition at workplace by the employees. So some technological gap is also responsible. That's why they are having such type of feeling of fatigue at workplace. The technology gap is that I can give my example. When in 1980s I joined University of Maiduguri, the work culture was quite different. We were typing with the help of our portable typewriter, cyclo-styling, and no communication. We used to physically move to visit anybody, friend, or even to head of department. Only we are just going. Then after 10 years time, that is in 1990s, it changed and communication came, television came, and we started slowly communicating. And then 2000 came after 10 years, then internet, Wi-Fi, electronic cloud, and sharing of the images and photos, social media came in existence. Lot of information age started. And today in 2024, artificial intelligence, robotic, humanoid, and lot of devices are there. Everything what it used to be in desktop, tabletop, or television, it has come to our hand. That is called mobile phone. And mobile phone became the part of our lifestyle. And this skill is every day changing. Maybe by 2040 or 2030, a lot of humanoid will be moving, will be working side by side, robotics, all these things, maybe flying car will be there because of technology gap. So that is also one of the factors where youngsters, they have mental noise, they have fear of not updating themselves to match the demand of today's technology. And at the same time, the employer, they want productivity, they want marketing, they don't count your work in hour. Let me give you a very simple example. There were two employees, woodcutters. They used to enter in submissive forest. After 8 hours, when they will come out, one woodcutter was paid 200,000 naira and other woodcutter was paid 100,000 naira. Then woodcutter became very angry. One started feeling frustrated, and the same feeling means fatigue. And he went to employer, contractor. That sir, we are working 8 hours. We are entering at the same time. We are coming out after 8 hours same time. One is paid 200,000 naira and I am paid 100,000 naira. What is wrong in it? You are doing injustice. He smiled. He said, no, I am not doing injustice. I am doing on the basis of productivity you are paid. How many trees you have cut within 8 hours time? He said, 4. Then he has go and ask your friend how many trees he has cut. He said 10. So he replied that in the same time his productivity is more than double. So that's why he is paid more. He is paid double. It depends upon your productivity, not time. And you go and learn from him that what technique or what type of trick he is using. That's why he is delivering double than you. So master that. So this is the condition today. Everything is tied to productivity and marketing with new skills and with new emerging technologies. So the factor first is what they are saying, physical factor. Second is that is emotional factor. Third is psychological factor, and fourth is lifestyle factor. When we are talking of emotional and psychological, emotional trauma, psychological is very much related to your memory and to your positive thinking. I mean, you have one is brain, your hardware, and then from that hardware you are shifted to software, that is your imagination and thinking and feeling, emotion, psychology, and that should be positive. And if it is not positive, then definitely your feeling will be always negative, and you will feel always tired at any place. So, and for that, the immediate environment and your past memory, they combine together, and that combination makes you always feeling tired. So don't allow such type of you can say negative feeling and emotion to sabotage that past memory, to sabotage your feeling, make it seem negative. No, you always keep positive feeling. This the second factor of feeling is the gap of your expectation. Your self assessment is not correct. You are not that much skilled like woodcutter, and you are expecting 1 million naira salary, or maybe $20,000 salary in America, or in India maybe 500,000 Indian rupees salary. And you are comparing, it means you are lacking somewhere in your skill, you improve that. So that gap of your education, of your skill and expectation from employer, where you are going to be employed, that gives this feeling of burned out or always tired at workplace. And this is causing serious issue globally today, became epidemic. So I am going to write those points, and one by one I will just give you in brief their importance. So what I have written here in the form of summary, just each point I am going to explain. But here, let me tell you that in Indian institutions, whether it is industries, educational centers, or so many other service sectors, they have taken care of these factors, and I have got all this statistical data and factors from such publications. And it is my, I cannot say very humble suggestion, or I am sharing my experience out of all these things, that in Nigeria or any part of the world, we should take care of all these factors: physical, emotional, psychological, lifestyle of their employees, to improve the productivity. So number one is, that is, there are various physical, emotional, psychological and lifestyle root causes given here, which are responsible of feeling fatigue or tired at workplace, and which is seriously affecting the productivity globally. So number one, that is feeling tired, is mostly psychological and emotional. It is not physical. It's your feeling. It's software. There is something hidden in your feeling, and that is causing such type of thing in the case of 90% cases. Of course, there are 10% cases where some disease or some other physical factor is there, some nutritional deficiency, but in 90% cases, it is your emotional and psychological problem, and not physical. Today, it has become just like epidemic globally, so much widespread, where about 77 to 80% employee feel tired or burn out at workplace. It is common working population between the age group of 25 to 40 years, the youngest ones. And this youngest ones, these factors are very serious because it is degenerative of productivity. It is a degeneration. It's a very serious issue. So number two is, that is physical causes. What are the physical causes? So number one, in that, your sleep disorder, maybe any reason, but you are not sleeping enough, 8 to 9 hours sound sleep. That is also disturbing at workplace. And number two, nutritional deficiency, means deficiency of vitamin like B12, iron, calcium, magnesium. There should be some laboratory test, pathological as well as biochemical, to find out for their employees their status of nutritional status, physical status. And then two is nutritional. Number three is hormonal imbalance. And these hormones, what I have mentioned here, is all from research publication. That is your cortisol, adrenal hormone, thyroid hormone. They are identified as fatigue hormones. If it is produced in excess, like cortisol, you will be having stress, strain, anxiety, feeling, or thyroid disturbance, that hormone, and at the same time cortisol and adrenal. So they are all fatigue hormone. It should be checked. Then chronic illness. Of course, if somebody is suffering from chronic illness, that is physical condition, means either he is suffering from anemia, cancer, or diabetes, we can identify and we can take care that factor. Then medication, whether the employee is coming after taking some medication like antidepressant, like sedative drug, where he is always feeling sleepy. You have seen all those images. That is also one of the condition. Or sometimes he might be having leaky gut. Actually, gut chemistry, I have discussed a lot about gut bacteria. Again, I am going to discuss. Your gut bacteria in your body, we have 60 to 100 trillion bacteria, positive and negative. And your bacteria, your gut bacteria, your digestive system, everywhere, your age is determined, your disease, your fatigue is determined by bacteria, living organisms. So gut bacteria and dehydration. Dehydration is also a factor nowadays in many organizations. Always once employees are there, after every 2-3 hours, some cold drink or some water is supplied. And I know in Silicon Valley, California, Google, they have open restaurant 24 hours. Anytime you feel you are not feeling good or you are feeling tired or exhausted, go to food court, go to a restaurant, it's running, relax, sit, eat well, and again come back. So of course, everywhere it cannot be possible, but at least up to some extent, let employee be hydrated, not dehydrated during working time. And then number three, emotional factor. Emotional means you are always in anxiety and stress. It means some domestic problem that you have to root out. Then second, very common, depression. And depression is your negative feeling. You are depressed, maybe because of some expectation, some other reasons that has to be addressed. Then trauma. I call it domestic trauma, inside house trauma. One trauma is by any accident, by any injury, by any problem on the road or anywhere, you are in trauma. But continuous trauma is also there inside house, between the children, parents, husband, wife. That trauma factor should be drastically addressed and cleared. And also, my one grandson in New York, I joke because once he's in trauma, if his mother or father says something which is not positive or good for him, he will start shivering out of emotional trauma. Then I told them, please try to understand his emotion. So children should not be, or anybody at working place should not be under emotional trauma, that they are exhausted. Then lack of purpose. If there is lack of purpose because you are not satisfied where you are working, maybe working condition, your expectation is quite different. May not be matching to your demand, to your need, or to your skill. That is, self-assessment is very important. Then number 4, suppressed emotion or unprocessed emotion. Suppressed emotion, sometimes, I remember one song in 80s, Dil ke arma aansuon mein beh gaye, one nikah film, that tells everything. Whatever your emotion is there, it came down in tear and wasted. So that is also one of the factors that what you could not express your emotion. it is buried inside. That is, we call it suppressed emotion or unprocessed emotion. That is also one of the factor that is emotional. Then unrealistic expectation from your employer. Identify self-assessment, your skill according to that. And I have already quoted the example of productivity and marketing. Two people are entering and their productivity is different. And then worry and fear of new skills. That is called mental noise. These youngsters nowadays, because they are not learning, they are not going to have new skill, which is very much emerging. New technologies is very much demanding for marketing, for productivity. And that's why they are lacking their skill, and they will be mental noise, always they are worried. They will lose their self-esteem and confidence. Then lack of self-care, you are not careful of your dress, of your taking care of every routine. So please be careful. That is called self-care. And that is also one of the factors. Then disconnection from your family, culture and tradition. You are not connected because you have just ignored that factor. That is also one of the factors of feeling tired. So now the psychological, emotional, physical is over. Next, number 4 is lifestyle factor. So lifestyle means, number 1, it is overcommitment. Once you are going to commit a lot to your employer, and on that basis you are given employment, definitely it is going to cause fatigue or the feeling of exhausted and tired. Then number 2, lack of boundaries. There should be some boundaries, some line, and according to that you should work. You should not cross that boundary of discipline. That is called the lack of boundaries. And number 3, lazy or sedentary lifestyle. At workplace you feel very lazy, sleepy and negative attitude. No, it's not acceptable by any employer, because they are interested in productivity. Then number 4, unhealthy habits like alcohol, drinking, smoking, where your mood is always irritated because of nicotine. So these are all negative factors. Then number 5, environmental factor. That is also very important, like toxin, air pollution. Those who are in mega cities like Delhi at the moment, schools are closed because of the air pollution, and data is showing that it is harmful to all the school children. So they have to close down the school for 2 weeks time. That factor is also there. And then self-care practice. Just don't be lazy, easy and don't care attitude. Self-care means you have to care yourself. Take disciplined life, good food, nutritional food, medical checkup, well dressed, all these factors, that is self-care. And it is very common nowadays. It's not common in young generation, but now it is becoming common. Otherwise it is common in old age, where they become careless. Then number 3, but boundary setting on priority basis. You have to prepare a priority list. If someone is not on your priority list, don't attend. For example, in my case, I attend those phones who are on my priority list. I will check if it is undesired call is there, I will not attend. If someone is very important, like from your head of department, from vice chancellor, from director, or from some colleague, definitely we have to attend. Otherwise, if any other useless calls are coming, just ignore it. So that is called your priority list. Correct it. Correct priority list. Note. There is always chance of improvement, no doubt, provided you change your attitude from negative to positive. I always used to tell this thing in Nigeria, that Nigeria is rich country from natural resources point of view, but Nigerians are poor because of the leadership, political attitude, all these factors. So it requires a holistic approach, for example, physical, emotional, psychological. It is all about how you feel, is your attitude, and change your feeling and perception at your workplace. At your workplace, your perception, your feeling should be very positive for your employer. Is very important. And then your personal reality of positive feeling should be demonstrated at your workplace, that you are positive, you are not troublemaker, you are troubleshooter. You are there to solve the problem, solve the trouble, not to make the trouble. That is your positive feeling. By changing and shifting, by creating new positive feeling, you if replace your old, just like your cloth. If your cloth is very dirty and old, just replace with new one. In the same way, your attitude also replace it with new positive feeling. You must realize about your immediate environment and past memories which can sabotage your feeling and ability to work. You have to identify, you have to adopt your immediate environment. If I say environment, it includes everything: social, political, your climate, temperature, resources, all are included. So you have to identify, you have to adopt, and then your past memories. Lot of dirty memories are there, your past, that is reflecting in your feeling at your workplace. Please delete it from your software. Come with all the fresh memories. That is going to sabotage your feeling. And now here, and that is your feeling and ability to work. They are going to sabotage your feeling and ability to work. That is your immediate environment and your past memories. Some statistics are given here. I copied from publications. Over 70% employees globally believe that their employers are not doing enough for them. It's 70%. They are not satisfied of their salary and job condition. They feel that they are exploited. That is 70%. 82% employees, they feeling tired occasionally, not always. Sometimes they are demoralized, dehumanized. Maybe they are not given their whatever is due, so they will feel fatigued or tired. But later on, they will become normal. So that percentage goes to 82%. It is fluctuation. And there are 60% employees having negative impact from work-related stress. They are suffering 60% because they are very much stressed at workplace. So that employer, they have to take care. And I always used to say that the hard work and any work must be rewarded and must be realized that the work is worth to that payment. Exploitation is the mother of all problem, and lot of frustration and stress is only because of mismatch of hard work and its reward. So this world is full of, that is, employee and employer. So it is concerning to everybody. So my humble request that share as much as possible, because everyone, either he or she is employer, entrepreneur, or as a employee, and they can go through it. Is very much important factors. Once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.